I think we can all agree that money solves problems, but we cannot all agree that money buys happiness. That's something you have to experience for yourself once you get a large sum of money. This is just me sharing what's possible when you truly don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. Now, I can bet what you're thinking every time my name pops up in your feed or every time you see one of my pieces of content. Think, who the fuck is this guy, this tiny little following, with the audacity to put together such high production videos just for maybe 500 to 1,000 people to watch your video? Well, what I have to say to that is, dude, I'm asking myself the exact same question. Every single day I'm thinking, who the fuck is this guy? It's a fancy Samsung S24 Ultra, best phone I've ever had, nicest camera I've ever had, a tripod in a home office. What do I have to say? How can I provide value? I'm asking myself all these questions all the time, which is why I know you guys are asking yourself this question every time I show up on your feed. I just want to let you guys know you can get that out of your head, because I have years of experience with digital marketing and content creation. I have years of experience with being on camera. I have years of experience of having mental health issues and going through trials and triumphs in life and going to the psych ward and being on a lot of different kinds of medication, and still to this day taking 10, 12 pills a day for my mental health. Like, I've been through it, I'm going through it, and I'm overcoming it all at the same time in every single video. And that's the only reason that I want you guys to watch these videos. This isn't to look at me. This isn't me trying to assert my lifestyle onto everybody. This is just me sharing what's possible when you truly don't give a fuck what anybody thinks, and you don't give a fuck what your doctor thinks, and what your therapist thinks, and what your parents think, and what your best friends think when it comes to your health. Because statistically speaking, being schizoaffective, manic bipolar 1 with ADHD, I shouldn't even be able to put a sentence together, let alone create content and develop a following, do any of that shit. So, welcome to Just a Normal Day with Joshua B. Boyd. Alright, so I'm a firm believer that money can solve problems. Money is what turns a major inconvenience into a minor inconvenience, depending on how much you can afford to get out of that situation. Things like car crashes, things like divorces, things like stuff I haven't even been through, but some of it I have, some of it I haven't. But anyway, I think we can all agree that money solves problems, but we cannot all agree that money buys happiness. That's something you have to experience for yourself once you get a large sum of money. But anyway, I bring this up because I believe that the fastest way to increase your income and the fastest way to get $500 in your pocket, if you need $500 now, and some of you might, because 41% of Canadians can't afford a $500 emergency expense. So believe me when I say I'm saying this for a reason. Guys, it's all about flipping. It's all about, first of all, before you flip an item, you can sell things you own already. Because I know for a fucking fact, because I owned things that provided value to others that I wasn't using for myself. Things like shoes, things like books, things like a PlayStation, a sim racing setup, all that other stuff, like electronics and clothing and books. Those are the big ones. We all own those things, and we all have a plethora of shit that we're not using that's worth money. So the first $500, the first $1,000 of side money just comes from putting in the effort of listing those things on Facebook Marketplace. We all have access to a phone. We all have access to a camera. We all have access to posting the ad for free and we all have shit we don't need. It's a recipe for success if you ask me, because what you do with that money is once you get the $500 or once you get the $1,000, and I've done this myself, and I've actually put proof to the pudding and have spreadsheets to prove it, is you invest that $500, you invest that $1,000 into things that are going to make you more money, aka retail arbitrage, aka buying things on sale and selling them at retail price. Things that people want, things that people are always buying, things like electronics, shoes, books, the big ones that I named before. What sold before will sell again. It's just, if you can get your hands on it cheaper and sell it for retail price, then you're fucking golden. Your profit margins are only 10-15%, maximum 20%. But the more shit you sell, the more it compounds and the more it adds up. And for me, it's turned into 1/3 of my income is Facebook Marketplace now. And I don't sell anything that I previously owned. I've sold all that stuff. I only sell things that I brought in to be inventory to make that sale. So guys, 41% of Canadians cannot afford a $500 expense. So I'm not talking to the wall here. I'm talking to people that are actually listening. The fastest way to get $500 or to get $1,000 to take care of an emergency expense is to flip and post on Facebook Marketplace. The old way would have been Kijiji, the old way would have been Craigslist, the old way would have been eBay, but the way that it is right now is Facebook Marketplace, because that is where all local online classified ads are being posted right now. I'd say 80% of them. And if you want to sell to people over the age of 40, 50, then go to Kijiji. You know what I mean? Just stay away from Craigslist. I'm not even going to get into Craigslist. All right, so we're going to watch a YouTube video together. Just give me a sec I have no idea what we're going to watch, but it's going to be something that's going to teach us something. That I know for sure. Give me a second. I know.
In this video, I'm going to show you.
Found it. Alright, so before we hit play on the video, I'm just going to go back here and check the ratings. So, as you guys can see right here, it's called the vidIQ tool. vidIQ has their whole own website that helps me with my video uploads, helps me with my marketing, helps me with my search engine optimization. But right here, all the tool is showing us is the volume of searches and the competition of searches. So the volume is medium for Facebook Marketplace searches, and the competition is very low for Facebook Marketplace searches, meaning not a lot of people are actually doing this. You'd think it's obvious to just flip shit and go on Facebook and sell it, but it's not obvious to people, which is why I'm talking about it. So I haven't seen this video yet, but we're going to watch it together.
In this video, I'm going to show you the exact process I use to make $500 extra a week using Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to cover how to find deals, how to negotiate, how to list, and how to sell. Also, make sure to stick around until the end of the video. I'm going to actually flip an item to show you how it all works in practice. So the first step in flipping items on Marketplace is finding your deal. Now the trick here is to niche down and have a couple different types of items that you search for specifically. The reason you're going to niche down is because if you're just scrolling the main page, then typically you're not going to find a good deal. If it's a really good deal, somebody's going to snag it before it even has time to get to that main page. And so that's why you want to have specific things that you can search for. As far as what to pick, you can do shoes, you can do couches, you can do weights, you can do video games, you can do clothes, whatever it is, you just want to make sure that you have some sort of knowledge on it, or you can get some sort of knowledge on it. Like for me, I mainly flip weight plates and video games because I know the market well. And so once you've actually chosen things to search, go ahead and search it up, and then you sort by newly listed. That's going to show you in order the...
So what this guy's talking about is basically using Facebook Marketplace for your sourcing, buying things on Facebook Marketplace to sell them at a higher price on Facebook Marketplace. Now, this isn't how I do it, but I'm open to learning more about this guy's methods, so we'll dive back in.
The most recent listings with that specific niche. And the quicker you can actually see the listings, the better chance you have of snagging a deal. But how do you actually know if it's a good deal? So if it's anything that's shippable, you can go on eBay, you can search the exact item that you just saw on Marketplace, and then sort by sold, And that's going to show you the most recent selling prices for the item you're looking at. For example, if you see someone listing a DS game on Marketplace, go to eBay, type that in, sort by sold, sort by newly ended, and then you will see the most recent selling prices. And if it's significantly cheaper on Marketplace, then you know it's a good deal. Now, as far as larger items that aren't shippable, so people aren't really selling them on eBay as much, like a couch or weight plates, that takes a little more time to figure out how much it's going to sell for. One way to do it is just by watching Marketplace, see what goes quickly at a certain price. You can also sort by sold on Marketplace and see what is selling for a specific price. Unfortunately, the best way to learn how much those types of items are going to sell for is just to buy one and start flipping. And once you actually have an item listed, you'll get a feel pretty quickly.
So basically what he's saying is don't get lost in the logistics and the how-tos and all the information. Just simply buy one thing and see if you can sell it at a higher price. That's what I'm taking away from this anyway, which is exactly what I did a long time ago. But that's what I'm encouraging you guys to do, is just flip one thing and then you'll be hooked. You'll be like, oh my god, this works.
Of what it's going to sell for in your market. As far as weight plates, which I've had a lot of success with, if it's an Olympic plate, which means it has 2-inch holes, those typically sell for about $1 a pound, but I would stay away from the 1-inch plates because those don't really sell for nearly as much. So after you find your deal, then you're moving on to the negotiation. So if something is a really good deal and it's just been listed, you have to understand a ton of people are going to be messaging them about that, so that's not where you'd want to try to bring the price down. Imagine if you had 20 people message you about an item and one of those was saying, hey, could you do it for $50 less than what it's listed? Probably not going to go with them, right? So the same concept applies if you're buying. So if it is a really good deal and it's just popped up, just message them, hey, I can pick up for the selling price with cash today. And that's going to...
So this is something that I learned along the way, is basically when things are just listed, people are expecting the price that they listed for. When things have been listed for 4, 6, 8 weeks, people are no longer after the price as much as they are after getting it out of their fucking house as fast as possible at any given price. So what, I don't know if he's going to go over this, so I won't even say what to do because I'm pretty sure he's going to get to it. But if he doesn't get to it, I'll tell you guys what to do in this situation and how to actually snag a deal. But let's see what this guy says.
Going to set you apart, that's going to make you the most simple buyer, and so they're more likely to go with you. Now, if the listing has been sitting a while, maybe it's a bad picture, maybe they have the wrong title, whatever it is, if it's a good deal but it's been on Marketplace for a couple days or a week, that's where you can negotiate price down. So
I would say longer than a week, but yeah, I've tried to negotiate with week-old listings and I've gotten nowhere with it.
you want to use basically the same line, but it's a little bit different. So let's say something's listed for 200, it's sat for a week. You would say, hey, would you take 150? I can pick up with cash today. I would recommend not going crazy low on the offer if it's a good deal, because then you might lose it, but try to shave some money off if it's been on the market for a while. Now, obviously, when you're finding a deal, you want to have common sense. If something seems too fishy or too good to be true, or they want some weird payment or whatever, just don't do it. It's not worth it because you could easily get scammed. And when you do go to get the item, make sure that it's in a public place and that you're comfortable meeting them there. If you really want to play it safe, most police stations actually have an area in their parking lot specifically designated for stuff like this, so you can go there. So once you have your item, then it's pretty simple. You just have to relist it. This really isn't complicated at all. Just make sure you have good pictures and a good title, and then once you have that, just make sure you have all the settings with Facebook right. As far as the pictures, they don't have to be professional. Just make them as good as you possibly can. So for example, here is a bad listing, and here's a good listing. So you can see the difference. You don't have to go crazy getting the pictures or make some elaborate title. Just make sure it's very clear what you're selling and it looks professional in some way, shape, or form. All right, so now moving on to the sale. So again,
everything checks out there. That was all good info.
This is pretty simple. When you list your item, list it at a price that you're willing to go a little bit down on, but don't try to, let's say you think your item's worth $200. Don't list it for $300 because then people aren't going to message you. List it for like $225. So you're still comfortable if people bring you down to $200, they feel like they got a good deal, but still close enough to the price it's actually worth that people are messaging you. So if you list it and within the next couple days you're getting a bunch of messages, stick firm on your price because it's probably going to sell pretty quickly. If it's sat for like a week and hasn't really had many messages, go ahead and get different pictures, delete the listing, and relist it, and maybe even with a lower price. But
no, there's a better hack to this, and I figured this out all by myself with my digital marketing skills. So basically, there's a thing called search engine optimization, and you can affect how something shows up in a search just based on the information you have in the info, the title, the description, all that sort of stuff. So if your item hasn't sold in over a week, before you go ahead and change the price and lower your price, just like tweak a few words in the description, and it'll trigger Facebook Marketplace into thinking that it's a brand new ad, and then you relist your item, and then you sell it right away. It's just, you don't have to change your price.
If it's still not selling after that, you just have to rinse and repeat, and you may lose money. I've only lost money on like 2 deals in my whole, career. But because once you understand the market, you're not really going to lose money. But starting off, it's possible.
Yeah, it's really hard to call this a career. It's just, I don't know, Gary Vaynerchuk calls it a career, but
Possible you do. And so just cut your losses, get rid of that item, get the cash back in your hand, and go do a better flip. And again, when you meet people that you're selling to, be in a place that you're comfortable with, make sure it's public, make sure they're not sketchy, all that stuff. So that's pretty much all there is to it. So now I'm going to show you an example of an actual flip that I had. So a couple days ago, I saw this deal pop up on Marketplace, and it was basically a guy selling a squat rack, barbell, plates, and then a bench and all that stuff. So I wanted just the barbell, the weight plate holder, and the weights, and so I asked him how much that would be. He said 50, which was honestly a lot cheaper than I was thinking. And so I said, yeah, that's cool. All right, so I just picked it all up, and so it was 2 sets of 35-pound weights, and then 1 set of 10-pound weights, a barbell, and then a weight plate holder. And so basically, it's got 160 pounds of weights, and then a 45-pound dumbbell or barbell. So that'll probably sell for like 160 to 200-ish. The weight plates are typically going to sell for $1 a pound, so that's 160 right there. And then the barbell, you could probably get 30 to 45 out of that.
all right, I think you guys got the gist of it. But basically, that's Facebook flipping in a nutshell. What do? I do everything he does, except I order typically from eBay and I sell on Facebook Marketplace. I don't drive around, I don't go to people's houses, I don't pick shit up, I don't buy shit off Facebook Marketplace just to sell it again on Facebook Marketplace. But not a bad video.